This is the beginning of part 2 of the video on the new registration settings of DNN6.2. Now, as our objective is to keep this registration form shorter, let's go back to our simple one field display name. We're just going to delete this. Now, next thing that I want to show is that you can reduce the form even more. So right now, if I save this, refresh the front end, you're going to see that we're just asking for fields. Now, there's also the option that you don't even ask for password if you don't want. You may want the system to generate password automatically for you. So what will happen is that the system will generate password for you, and the user will get that password via the email that they have entered here. So how can we do that? How can we get rid of the entire password confirmation here? Just go back there to the backend, and we do have the option that says use random password. So we can check that, and if I save, go back to the front end, refresh this again. So not even password is being asked now. So we are creating very little friction for this bloody user to register to our site. Okay. Now again, it might not be, you may want them to enter password, you may not want them to enter. This is an option. So it's really up to you. The extra benefit, I would say, that you have when sending the password to emails, that in a way you're validating that this is a real user. So again, very little information, just very minimal here. Now, another option that you have is that you can ask for password, but maybe you don't want to ask for confirmation. So if you go here to the backend again, you can just uncheck. We have to uncheck the use random password, but we can uncheck the require password confirmation as well. So we will only have one box for the password. Let's update this. And let's have a look again in the front end. Perfect. So we have password, display name, email address. Now, let's see how the user, what happens when the user tries to log in here. If I hit login, you see, I'll just be asked for email address, no longer username, because username is no longer present in the form. I'll be asked for email address and password. Let's go back to the registration. Now, just for the sake of the next example, I'm going to put back the confirm password. So I'm just going to go back, check, confirm password, require password confirmation, update. And now we have our, what I would call our very minimum set of fields. I tend to think that this would be the minimum required fields. Now, how can we make this look slightly better? You know, because usually passwords, they come as the last field. So how can we flip this around and make display name at the top, or maybe email address at the top, display name next, then password, then confirm password? How can we rearrange those fields? And we can do that by going back here to the backend and using the custom registration form. So under registration form type, instead of selecting standard, let's use the custom one. Now, I think this was here before because I've tried this before. Let's start from scratch. When you select custom, now you have much more flexibility than you already had with the standard registration. You can specify the order of the fields that you want to display in the form itself. So you have here something called registration fields, which you're gonna list the fields that will be asked during registration. And we are asking for 4 fields: password, confirm, display name, and email address. So let's list them here in the order that we want them to appear. So the first one will be the email address. So we start to type in email, and the email will come up. The next, we're gonna select display name. It comes up in the drop down. Next, we're gonna go for the password. And as you can see, there's already the password confirmation as well. So let's select password and let's select confirm, password confirm. So we want them in this order. Let's just save this, update, and let's have a look at our front end. Perfect. So we see the order fields was reordered, was restructured, and we are now showing in the order that we want. Now let's go back to the backend once again. You can do even more than that. There are lots of more options here about password expiration, the display name format as well, username validation. You can use regular expressions to validate users. There's already the email validation here, which I would suggest not touching it, but there are still lots of options here that you can play around, even using CAPTCHA for registration to make sure that it's not a bot automatically registering to the site, it's a real user. So you can explore those a little bit more, but to finalize this quick, I would call it overview or introduction to the new flexible registration options of DNN6.2, I just want to show you this. We can go very minimal on the registration fields. Let's just have a look here. We can delete password confirm, password, display name, and when we save this and have a look at the front end again, refresh, see, you can go very extremely minimal here. Just ask the email address, which I'm assuming that the password will be emailed to the user if we don't ask for the password at all like this. Now, one thing that we will notice is that email address is the only real required field within DotNetNuke now. We can avoid asking any field except email address. Let's just give it a try. Let's say if we go back here to the backend and we say, you know what, I don't want to ask for email, I just want username, because again, username should be unique as well, so it should be enough to identify, and display name. And when I try to save this, here's what happened. It says you must at minimum include email field. So email is a must. It's the only, at this point, the only real required field within the new DNN6 registration configuration. So this is it for now. In a very near future, I'll be exploring the use of authentication providers which will allow the authentication to be done via Facebook or Google or Twitter. Again, DNN is bringing that out of the box for us as well, but we're gonna explore that in a future video. That's it for now. That's an overview and actually a detailed view of the new flexibility of the registration form of DNN6.2. Thank you very much and bye for now.